The drivetrain is truly the heart of your bicycle. It's the system that takes the power from your legs and turns it into forward motion. When it's not working right, you'll notice chain skipping, noisy shifting, and a ride that just feels off. But when it's dialed in, every gear change is smooth, your components last longer, and cycling becomes a joy whether you're on a road bike or mountain bike. In this video, we'll walk you through everything you need to know to inspect, adjust, and fine-tune your drivetrain for the best performance possible. Before you start, gather the right tools. You'll need a set of hex keys, typically 4, 5, and 6 mm sizes, a Phillips screwdriver for those derailleur limit screws, and a torque wrench to make sure bolts are tightened just right. A chain checker tool helps you measure chain wear, while a chain breaker and quick link pliers are essential for chain installation or removal. Needle nose pliers and cable cutters will help with cables, and a bike stand makes everything easier. Having these tools ready will make your adjustments smoother and more precise. Start by inspecting your drivetrain. Check the chain with a chain checker tool. If it's stretched more than 0.75% on a 9, 10, or 11 speed system, it's time to replace it to prevent cassette wear. Look at the cassette for shark fin-shaped teeth, which signal it's worn out. If your chain skips on new links, the cassette may need replacing. Don't forget the derailleurs check for bent hangers, as misalignment is a common cause of poor shifting. Also, inspect cables and housing for fraying or corrosion, and replace them if needed. Let's start adjusting with the rear derailleur. First, set the high limit screw, labeled Hush. Shift to the smallest cog on your cassette. Use the H screw to align the upper pulley directly under the smallest cog. The pulley should sit perfectly in line with the cog's teeth. This prevents the chain from shifting off the cassette. Take your time here, as this step is crucial for smooth shifting across your gears. Next, set the low limit screw, marked L-pline. Shift to the largest cog on your cassette. Use the L screw to ensure the derailleur doesn't overshift into the spokes. The upper pulley should align directly under the largest cog. This adjustment keeps your chain from falling off the cassette and protects your wheel. Double-check your alignment before moving on to the next step. Now, let's adjust the B screw. This screw sets the gap between the upper pulley and the cassette. For road bikes, aim for a 5-6 mm gap. For mountain bikes with wide-range cassettes, a 10-15 mm gap is best. Too close, and shifting will be rough. Too far, and the chain may not engage properly. Adjust slowly and check the gap visually to get it just right. With the rear derailleur limits set, it's time to fine-tune shifting with indexing adjustment. Shift to the smallest cog, then click up one gear. Use the barrel adjuster to tweak cable tension. If shifting is slow up to a larger cog, tighten the cable by turning the barrel counterclockwise. If shifting is slowed down to a smaller cog, loosen it by turning clockwise. Make small adjustments and test after each one until shifting is crisp and precise. Now, move to the front derailleur. Start by checking the height and alignment. The outer cage plate should sit just 1-3 mm above the largest chainring. Make sure the derailleur cage is parallel to the chainrings. This setup prevents rubbing and ensures the chain moves smoothly between rings. Take your time to get this alignment perfect before tightening everything down. Set the front derailleur's low limit screw, labeled L, shift to the small chainring and the largest rear cog. The chain should move smoothly onto the small ring without rubbing the derailleur cage. Adjust the L screw until there's no contact, but don't over-tighten. This step ensures you can use your lowest gear without any annoying noises or risk of the chain dropping. Next, set the high limit screw, marked H. Shift to the large chainring and the smallest rear cog. Adjust the H screw so the chain doesn't overshift off the chainring. The goal is to allow smooth movement onto the big ring without risking the chain falling off. Test the shift a few times to make sure it's just right. Fine-tune the front derailleur's cable tension and indexing. Use the barrel adjuster on the shifter or frame to make small adjustments. Shifts should be quick and precise, with no hesitation or rubbing. If you notice slow or noisy shifts, tweak the tension slightly and test again. This step is all about dialing in that perfect feel for every gear change. When installing a new chain, always use one that matches your drivetrain speed 9, 10, 11, or 12 speed. To find the correct length, wrap the chain around the largest front chainring and largest rear cog without threading through the derailleur Then add 2 full links. Use a chain breaker or quick link pliers to connect the chain, depending on your system. Make sure the derailleur arm sits at a proper angle and isn't overstretched. After installing the chain, check its tension. The derailleur arm should not be overstretched or too slack. If it's too tight, the chain may bind and cause shifting issues. If it's too loose, the chain could drop or skip. Adjust as needed, and make sure the chain moves smoothly through all gears before moving on. With everything adjusted, it's time for a final test. Run through all gear combinations, shifting up and down both the cassette and chainrings. Listen for any noise, hesitation, or skipping. Make sure the chain doesn't drop from the chainrings and that every shift is smooth, even under load. This is your chance to catch any last issues before hitting the road. Don't forget to recheck torque values on your bolts. The derailleur mounting bolt should be tightened to 810 Nm, while crank bolts usually require 3550 Nm, depending on your bike's standard. Using a torque wrench ensures you don't over-tighten or under-tighten, which can cause damage or unsafe riding conditions. Always follow manufacturer recommendations for best results. One of the most common mistakes is using the wrong chain speed. For example, a 10-speed chain on an 11-speed cassette will cause shifting issues and wear out your drivetrain faster. Always match your chain to your cassette and shifters for the best performance and longevity. Another frequent error is over-tightening derailleur limit screws. If you crank them down too hard, you can block shifting entirely, making it impossible to use certain gears. Adjust limit screws gently and test after each turn. Remember, a little goes a long way when it comes to fine-tuning. Ignoring a bent derailleur hanger is a recipe for poor shifting. Even a slight bend can throw off your alignment and cause the chain to skip or hesitate. Always check the hanger before making adjustments and straighten or replace it if needed. This small step can save you a lot of frustration down the road. Cross-chaining using the big chainring with the big cog or the small chainring with the small cog causes noise and excessive wear. It puts unnecessary strain on your drivetrain and can lead to premature failure. Try to avoid these gear combinations and shift to a more neutral chain line whenever possible. Regular cleaning and lubrication are key to a long-lasting drivetrain. Clean and lube your chain every 150-200 kilometers, or, after riding in wet conditions, use dry lube for dust-free environments and wet lube for rainy or muddy rides. Keeping your chain clean not only improves shifting but also extends the life of your cassette and chainrings. Don't overlook your cables and housing. Replace them annually for smooth, reliable shifting. Frayed or corroded cables can cause sluggish gear changes and even lead to shifting failures. Fresh cables make a huge difference in how your bike feels and performs. If you ride a lot, consider rotating between 2 or 3 chains. This practice can significantly extend the life of your cassette and chainrings. By swapping chains regularly, you ensure even wear and avoid the need for frequent replacements. It's a simple trick that can save you money in the long run. Let's clarify what the drivetrain actually island. It's the collection of components that transfer your pedaling power to the wheels. This includes the chain, cassette, chainrings, derailleurs, and shifters. Keeping all these parts in sync is essential for efficient, smooth cycling. A well-maintained drivetrain means less effort and more enjoyment on every ride. Indexing refers to the precise adjustment of your shifter and derailleur so that each click moves the chain exactly 1 gear. Proper indexing is what makes your gear changes crisp and reliable. If your bike skips gears or hesitates, it's usually an indexing issue. Mastering this adjustment is key to a smooth ride. Limit screws are small but crucial screws on your derailleurs that set the boundaries for how far the derailleur can move. The high and low limit screws prevent your chain from falling off the cassette or chain rings. Adjusting these correctly is essential for safe and reliable shifting. Cross-chaining is when you use the big chainring with the big cog or the small chainring with the small cog. This creates a diagonal chain line, which increases wear and can cause noise or shifting problems. Avoid cross-chaining to keep your drivetrain running smoothly and efficiently. The B-screw on your rear derailleur controls the distance between the upper pulley and the cassette. This gap is crucial for smooth shifting, especially on bikes with wide-range cassettes. Adjusting the B-screw properly ensures the chain engages the gears cleanly and prevents skipping. Chain wear is measured by how much the chain has stretched over time. A worn chain can damage your cassette and chainrings, leading to expensive repairs. Use a chain checker tool regularly and replace your chain before it gets too stretched. This simple habit protects your entire drivetrain. Cable tension is what allows your shifters to move the derailleurs accurately. Too much or too little tension can cause slow or missed shifts. Fine-tuning cable tension with the barrel adjuster is a key skill for any cyclist who wants perfect gear changes every time. A properly tuned drivetrain transforms your cycling experience. With smooth gear changes, silent operation, and efficient power transfer, every ride becomes more enjoyable. Regular inspection, cleaning, and adjustment will keep your bike running at its best for years to come. Don't forget to share your own experiences or questions in the comments. What's the biggest drivetrain issue you've faced, and how did you fix it? Happy riding!